ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Legendary golfer Tiger Woods is in a Los Angeles hospital right now after a serious car accident this morning. His agent says that Woods underwent surgery for injuries to his legs. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. The first officer to respond to the scene believes that Woods' seatbelt may have saved his life. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with ABC's Marcy Gonzalez, who has the latest on the investigation into the crash.
This SUV left crumbled after rolling downhill multiple times with Tiger Woods behind the wheel.
Fire, we have a rollover with someone trapped.
Rescuers using an axe to break through the windshield and free the legendary pro golfer. The Los Angeles County Fire Department says Woods has serious injuries to both legs. The 45-year-old was rushed to a hospital and into surgery.
He was able to communicate and he was conscious.
Woods was the only person in the SUV when it lost control around 7:15 Tuesday morning south of LA. No other vehicles were involved.
No skid marks, no braking. So apparently the first contact was with the center median, and from there then crossed into the opposing lane of traffic, hit the curb, hit a tree, and there was several rollovers during that process.
The SUV marked Genesis Invitational, a tournament Woods hosted this weekend but didn't play in because he's recovering from his 5th back surgery, saying this to CBS Sports.
I'm feeling fine. I'm a little bit stiff.
So Tiger, 7 weeks from today, final round of the Masters. You going to be there?
Gotta hope so.
Fans and friends stunned that the world-famous athlete who's bounced back from personal and physical obstacles for years is now facing yet another.
The sheriff says there is no indication Woods was impaired in any way, but says it does appear the vehicle may have been speeding. Investigators are looking into that and whether Woods may have been on his cell phone or otherwise distracted at the time of the crash on a notoriously dangerous stretch of road. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Within the past 2 hours, Tiger's team tweeted some details of his injuries. A statement called them, quote, significant orthopedic injuries to his right leg. There were multiple bone fractures. Surgeons put a rod in his leg, plus screws and pins in the foot and ankle. Tiger is awake and recovering in the hospital.
Southern California is where he grew up, and so he has special ties to the Southern California area and San Diego, and I know he loves San Diego.
Tiger Woods has a strong connection to Torrey Pines and made many fans in San Diego's golf community. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has their reaction tonight.
I spoke to those in the local golf circuit about what Tiger Woods means to the sport and to the game. They hope that he'll be able to get back on the course. The crash hospitalizing Tiger Woods, drawing strong reactions from the San Diego golfing community. The CEO of the Century Club of San Diego and Farmers Insurance Open released this statement Tuesday. Like the rest of the golf and sports worlds, we were saddened to hear this news today. Tiger and Torrey Pines are inextricably linked thanks to his record 7 victories in the Farmers Insurance Open and his remarkable triumph in a 19-hole playoff here at the 2008 U.S. Open. We wish him well in his recovery from surgery.
So sad to hear about it, because the first bits of news that nobody really knew what happened, and nobody really knew how seriously injured that Tiger was.
Tom Wilson saw Woods in action many times. He ran the Farmers Insurance Open until 2012. He was in charge of the tournament at Torrey Pines going back to when it was still the Buick Invitational. He says the region has a special connection to Woods.
Southern California is where he grew up, and so he has special ties to the Southern California area and San Diego, and I know he loves San Diego.
The U.S. Open will be held at Torrey Pines this summer. Woods was working his way back from an injury, but Wilson says there was a lot of anticipation Woods would have been able to play. Now he thinks that's less likely.
My hope for him, my personal hope for him, is that he'll be able to rehab himself like he has in the past, and probably won't be this year that he's back on the tour again, but hopefully he gets himself well and is able to play the game.
Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Tiger's fellow PGA Tour members are also in shock tonight. ABC 10 News Sports Director Ben Higgins is joining us now with some of the well wishes and a strange golf coincidence. Ben?
Tiger Woods is facing a long recovery, but at least he may have an inspiration. Hall of Fame golfer Ben Hogan also suffered massive injuries in a car accident and came back to win the U.S. Open 18 months later. Now, a return to the PGA Tour may be the last thing on Tiger Woods' mind tonight as he recovers from emergency surgery, but as a student of golf history, he knows Hogan's story, how he and his wife were nearly killed in a collision with a Greyhound bus in 1949. Doctors thought Hogan wouldn't walk again. Not only did he walk, but he went on to win 6 major titles. Now Tiger faces his own long road to recovery, and just like Hogan, he'll have the support of fellow PGA Tour players.
I'm sick to my stomach. It hurts to see one of now my closest friends, get in an accident.
You just hope Tiger's all right, and we all know he's a strong cookie, physically, mentally, so if someone's going to get through this, he will.
From everything that I know about Tiger, I'm sure he will recover, and he will do everything in his power to come back. I'm sure he will.
Tiger's longtime rival, San Diego's Phil Mickelson, also tweeted his support, saying, "We are all pulling for you, Tiger. Everyone hopes and prays for your full and speedy recovery." As it turns out, Tiger's last competitive round was in a tournament playing alongside his 11-year-old son, Charlie, back in December. A touching moment. Now, fans and competitors all hope it's a moment we'll get to see again in the future. I'm Ben Higgins, ABC 10 News.
That we do. Ben, thank you. Turning now to coronavirus. The San Diego County will remain in the purple tier for at least one more week. Our latest state metrics show continued progress in the right direction. 2 of our metrics are enough for the red tier, but our adjusted case rate is still too high. Meantime, here are our latest COVID numbers. 454 more San Diegans have tested positive for COVID, and the county says 29 more people have died from this virus.
San Diego Unified says it has a deal and a plan in place to bring students back to campus. Today, the district reached an agreement with the teachers union to get educators vaccinated by April 5th. Students at all grades would return by April 12th. Parents are already protesting and saying that's not quickly enough, but teachers tell us that many are not willing to return to the classroom before getting vaccinated.
Teachers are scared of getting this virus, of affecting their families, and I think what we're asking for is completely reasonable.
There's one major catch, though. San Diego must be out of the purple tier before the students can return. And right now, we are not there yet. The county's current case rate is 15 per 100,000. We won't qualify for the red tier until we get that number down to 7.
The Petco Park Vaccination Superstation reopened today. It had been closed since Friday because of weather-related delays in receiving those vaccines from Moderna. People lined up early at that site, eager to get their shots. The county says nearly 80,000 doses shipped are now arriving. They represent the doses expected this week, along with those delayed last week. We're told that 19% of the local population over 16 has received at least one shot.
More help is on the way for people and businesses hurting during the pandemic. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Golden State stimulus bill passed by the legislature. It includes more than $2 billion in small business grants. Each business can apply for up to $25,000, and about $50 million will go to nonprofit cultural institutions. We spoke with the owner of Salado Salon in Rancho Bernardo. And while she's glad that something is being done, she says it's a little too late for many businesses, and she's not confident that she'll get help in this new stimulus.
Back in December, the California Relief Grant had launched, and we've been now waitlisted twice.
The stimulus also will send $600 checks to more than 5 million lower-income Californians. Renters who are struggling during the pandemic can now apply for help from the county. Starting today, there's $100 million available for emergency rent and utilities. There are several criteria to qualify. You must be at risk of homelessness or housing instability. You can't be getting other forms of housing subsidies, and you must be below 80% of the area's median income. Applications are on the county website.
Late today, the City Council voted to adopt new regulations over short-term rentals in San Diego. As our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner explains, this issue has a lot of people fired up.
On Tuesday, nearly 100 people called in to speak out over a new proposal for tackling the city of San Diego's hot-button debate over how to regulate short-term vacation rentals.
I do support this ordinance.
This regulation will be a crushing blow to these businesses already trying to recover from the pandemic.
The city estimates there are 16,000 local homes used primarily as vacation rentals. Passing the new proposal caps that amount at about 6,500, which is a little more than 1% of the overall housing supply, with the biggest concentration in Mission Beach. Hosts would have to apply for licenses, and the city would step up nuisance enforcement. Some callers voiced support for the proposal's passing.
We encourage the council to approve this measure. Tourism has changed in the face of COVID-19. And what is our economic recovery going to look like? San Diego needs to be a city that's adaptable, and short-term vacation rentals provide an opportunity for our tourism industry to recover.
San Diego is facing a housing crisis. Short-term rentals take affordable housing off the market, promotes homelessness, and raises housing costs disproportionately.
Others expressed concern over what they deemed as an inadequate solution.
If you must have a cap, please raise it and do not make it random. Prioritize us responsible owners. We do need a compromise, but completely taking away my right to do what I want with my own house is not a compromise.
So the two things that I see missing from this ordinance that'll make it almost unenforceable is any sort of platform accountability and data gathering from them. Not only on TOT tax, but who's listing the property and where.
Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
The council still has to hash out some smaller issues in the ordinance, which is expected to take effect next January.